Type 1 diabetes, also known as juvenile diabetes, is diagnosed in someone who is at a very young age. Someone like me, I was diagnosed at the age of 5. I've lived with it for 24 years. There's a lot of myths and there's a lot of facts in regards to diabetes. A lot of people will say that diabetes, a lot of people have to follow a special diet. It's no different diet than what anybody else that is recommended to follow. Your fruits, your vegetables, anything like that, anything healthy for you, of course. Eating too much sugar can cause diabetes. For all the years that diabetes have been discovered, most still do not understand what it means or even what it involves. Diabetes is a metabolic disease in which the body's inability to produce enough insulin, which can cause elevated blood sugars. Type 1 diabetes, also known as juvenile, is an autoimmune disease that occurs when a person's system attacks their pancreas islet cells and prevents it from properly regulating the body's blood glucose levels by releasing insulin. The symptoms are frequent urination. There could be a sweet smell to the urine, extreme thirst. That's recommended by the American Diabetes Association. Those are the symptoms that come with the disease. The diagnosis is a fasting blood sugar of above 80. The recommended blood glucose levels are from 80 to 100. It seems to change quite often as opposed to how controlled a person is, or to diagnose someone properly. If they do a hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood draw, and their A1C is recommended to be at a 6, a 5 to a 6, the average blood, which shows the average blood glucose level within 3 months. If they have a blood glucose level that is above that, then they are pre-diabetic. And then if it continues, then they are then diagnosed with diabetes. To control diabetes, usually insulin or a pill is prescribed by a doctor. This here is my lifeline. This is an insulin pump. This is where I get my insulin. They call this a symbolic pancreas. I get so much insulin per hour, and the way this, sorry, I can't pull it up higher, it's attached. I would show you the site, but I am unable to. I adjust this with carbohydrates, the carbohydrates I eat. 15 grams of carbohydrates is considered one carbohydrate. So per 15 grams equals 1 carbohydrate. So my ratio is 1 to 10. So if I eat 15 grams of carbohydrates, then I will get 1 unit of insulin. My blood sugars are then checked. This here is what I use to check my blood sugar with. I check it 5 to 6 times a day, sometimes more, depending on how I'm feeling. I'm pretty on it. I stay with it, and I'm pretty well controlled. I eat what I want, when I want, how I want. However, it's my decision to kind of stay away from the sweets and the sugars and stuff like that. I do have my weaknesses. I've learned to do with my diet. I do my diet control. I have 2 kids, so that's where I get my exercise. I don't necessarily put aside 30 minutes to exercise, but the exercise that I do get, I'm a full-time mom, and I work full-time, so that's where I get that. Someone who has diabetes needs to get to know their body. Someone could react differently to different foods. Diabetes can affect anybody. In my case, it was genetics on my dad's side of the family. As a diabetic, I've learned to kind of live with it. It's all I really know. So I wouldn't know any different if I wasn't a diabetic, because I was diagnosed at such a young age. Diabetes is the 7th leading cause of death in the United States, according to the CDC of government. It is a very serious disease. It can be if you don't take care of yourself. I see an endocrinologist that specializes in the endocrine system every 3 months, and I learned to deal with it. So I'm not ashamed to say who I am or what I have. I have diabetes. Diabetes does not have me, and that's the way it's gonna be. And I know how to control my life and my diabetes, and it's just the way I am, and it's who I am.